Hello everyone, good afternoon, happy Friday. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Parsha wine pairing here at Kosherwine.com. Me and Dovey here again. This time we're dressed a little bit more normally than last week.
Or maybe last week was normal and this is how we dress up when we want to dress up. But don't forget, the wines you're seeing featured here today for Parsha wine pairing are 7% off when you use the code Parsha7. That's P-A-R-S-H-A numeral 7. We'll also feature a wine later in this video that will be featuring next week, but we'll show you the wine this week, and that wine as well will be 7% off with the code Parsha7, so stay tuned for that. Jared, what's this week's Parsha?
This week we have a privilege for double Torah portions. This week, Vayakhel-Pekudei. Sometimes they're read separately. This year they're read together. And so Vayakhel-Pekudei, Vayakhel is like the gathering, and then Pekudei is like the reckonings of the tabernacle. So it's all about the tabernacle and Moses and the Jews building the tabernacle for God. There's a lot of nitty gritty, but to make a long story short, with everything that goes on, there's some descriptions of what are put in the tabernacle, the breastplates, the Kosher, which we've already talked about with the Kohen.
Yeah. A couple of weeks ago we featured the Benjamin
chosen diamond.
Yeah.
So we revisit that a little bit because the Torah talks a little bit in the Parsha about certain types of stones that are used on the breastplate and in the tabernacle. Now one of them, and this is very nitty gritty here, but one of them is called an Odem.
Nice.
An Odem, Evan Odem. Mm-hmm. So it's a type of ruddy, reddish stone that was used in the Kohen's breastplate, in other places in the tabernacle to beautify it.
Awesome. So what wine are we going to be featuring this week and tasting this week to match with the Parsha?
So I wanted to take this opportunity to feature Odem Mountain Winery because I love a lot of their stuff. So this is a perfect opportunity to.
Awesome. They got a lot of wines. They got their Forest series. They got their Volcanic series, and they have
limited edition. They have the very high ones.
Yeah. So there's a lot of options there. And which wine specifically will we be drinking today?
So as far as what we'll choose, I chose like the nice QPR one, which is the Odem Forest Cabernet 2016.
I've never had it, so I'm looking forward to giving this a try.
And it's got Mr. Adam Alfazi's signature on the back there.
Nice.
So let's give this a whirl.
All right,
see how
let's
it
go
tastes.
ahead and do that. And guys, we're gonna show you some cool stuff in a bit after we're done tasting this wine and telling you about it. So don't go anywhere. Even if you've tried this before, or even if you know everything about the Parsha, we still got good stuff to talk about. So
Odem Mountain from Israel.
Take it away.
Let's give it a try. Lots of cherries, very strawberry taste. Got a good nose, nice palate. What do you think, David?
It's like the first time I'm trying it, so I'm really trying to savor that and trying to place it. I'll say up front, you definitely get fruit, but it's not the full fruit is not as long lasting as some of your other cabs out of Israel. You definitely get that fruit and that oak up front. Trying to get a little more on this.
Give it another taste.
There's a bit of like a ripeness, like that stemmy ripeness to it. It's the acid is not very upfront. It's pretty mellow. Tannins around it. It's a nice, easy drink. Like you said, good QPR. This is an easy drink if you don't like a lot of fruit forwardness in your wine, but you still want to get that fruit. This is a good choice. Jared, nice pick on the wine. There's so many Odem wines. I'm happy to have been able to try this one. And we're going to have Yaakov stop in and come try this wine with us. And while he's getting here, let me just talk to you a little bit about some of these new wines that we got in. We've been working on this project for a while. We call it the Garage Winery Series. And basically, there's a lot more information coming, but we've been able to import some wines on our own.
Look at
very
those.
own labels. From winemakers that are basically making this stuff in their garage, in their homes, tiny production, micro productions. This specific series is Shiran. You got the conductor and you got the soprano, and he also has the trio, which we will be in a few moments when Yaakov joins us, even though it's not exactly representative of our trio. We also have a few other wines that we got in with this series. Some of you may be familiar with the Herzberg series. We have 3 wines of theirs, which we've had last year, but now he's joining, or the other 4 wineries are joining him in this Garage Winery series. We also have Amos. They will have 3 different wines. Check these all out. They're all available online.
Some of these may just be future Parsha wines too.
And they may.
You'll have to see.
We also have Nouveau, great story there as well. His winery's actually in a bunker, so if you're ever in Israel and you want to check that out, pretty cool. And last but not least, Gito. Love these labels, love the wines, love all these wines. That's why we brought them. We tried all these wines last summer. We said we got to bring them to the market here and share them with everyone.
And
now our trio is complete. Yaakov's here. He's going to give the wine a swirl. And we'll go ahead and give us some notes. I'm going to rinse my glass, and we're going to try some Shiran, actually, some of the Soprano.
Take your time, meditate upon it.
Yeah, so just looking at the color, it's a nice purple, a beautiful full color, and just giving a smell. I get strong oak on the nose, but it's you know, it's layered with rich red fruits, strawberry, as Jared was saying, also cranberry, and a little bit of like cassis even, which is more of a astringent kind of like pungent red fruit.
Can you taste the forest though, like the pine needles and all that?
The Odem Forest.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely getting a little bit of forest floor.
And the volcano too.
Yeah. Well, so this is probably made in like basalt soil, which is a volcanic rock. And when wine's grown in that kind of soil, it allows the tannic nature to be more gritty, and it really allows it to have a full kind of feel to it. So let me give it a taste. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
Amen.
So first thing I noticed putting it in my mouth is the good acidity. This is a wine that will pair very nicely with food. It'll hold well, you know, over time. Not saying that this is necessarily a wine to cellar or that it'll get better with time or something of that nature, but it'll definitely hold. And on the mouth is very similar to the nose, but you don't get any of those forest notes in the mouth. It's more just fruit, upfront fruit, very easy drinking, great tasting, delicious, mouth-watering. Because of the acidity, it's a lasting mouthfeel and a lasting finish, and a great choice. Great choice, Jared.
All right, awesome. So thank you for that, Yaakov. That was a great description. And as you can tell, everyone can have their own takeaways from the wines. It could taste different to different people. I would always listen to whatever Yaakov says. So you know, if he tells you that this is a good wine, then it's a good wine. His taste is supposed to be representative of the general population.
Yeah, exactly. And it's very correct. And I think this is a wine that should appeal to all different you know, groups of people.
For sure, yeah, it's definitely got mass appeal to it. It's very approachable.
Yeah.
For those of you who were watching us on Instagram yesterday would have noticed that we tried some of these new wines that came in. If you're not already watching us on Instagram, hit that follow button. But there you go, Jared. Thank you for following. We won a new follower. But we do have some wine that we opened up yesterday. One of them in particular is Shiran Soprano, which I've been in touch with Eli Shiran, the winemaker, and he said that, you know, it's tasting nicely, let it breathe for a bit, but the next day it's tasting even better. So we saved half the bottle, and on his advice, I'm going to go ahead and try some the next day, which is today, and share some with Yaakov and Jared as well. And we'll see how this how it has changed from day to day, but also how it's drinking now just in general. So again, this is the Shiran Soprano that we're trying now. This is one of the 3 wines in the series.
Give a backstory for calling it Soprano.
We'll leave that up to Yaakov. Well, basically, Eli. His father was a chazan, and he made this series and named the wines.
Based on like voice.
So there's a conductor, there's a chazan, there's a soprano. So this series right now that we have doesn't have the chazan, but it has the conductor, it has the soprano, and it has the trio. Maybe there'll be a quartet next year. I don't know, but for now, this is what we have. We have these three wines, and I'm gonna go ahead and give this a try. This is an 85% Grenache, 15% Petit Syrah. Ellie's making fantastic wines, trying new things, pushing the envelope, interesting blends. This is not going to be typical stuff that you'll find anywhere else, and yet at the same time, he's staying true to like Mediterranean style winemaking and blends. So he's really using that Israeli terroir to kind of just like develop new styles and try his own thing, and it's very reflective of him as an individual. If you ever meet him, you'll know what I'm talking about. So this is to you, Ellie. Thank you very much, and let's go ahead and try this.
So I mean, just the transition from the wine that we just tasted to this wine is unbelievable. And to smell this wine, you're getting like such incredibly complex forest floor, truffles, leather, things that are totally not present at all in this other wine.
And it's so interesting too. I haven't tasted like a Grenache Petit Syrah like before. It's got a very interesting texture, like a very round flavor, and
right. So like if you like Spanish wines, this is definitely something to try. And it still has like that. Yesterday was tasting a little bit more Israeli style, like even though it was different. But today, if I was tasting this blindly, I would right away just say this is a Spanish wine. And it's so it's true. It did open up nicely. You're definitely getting more of that like licorice spice, leather. Earthy and
licorice,
another which yesterday was a little bit more fruit forward, like more fruit up front, which different. You got kind of getting different taste profile, but it's also so soft and round. This is just it's a fantastic wine, worth every penny at $39.99. On sale now.
Yeah, and even when we tried it yesterday, I mean, if you were to compare the acidity of this 2016 Cabernet to this Grenache blend, this is much lighter bodied, and as far as the acidity is concerned, it's very balanced, very even with the oak to acidity ratio. And yeah, I mean, it's tasting amazing today compared to yesterday, which just goes to show how the tannic structure and the acidity structure is meant to last. And this is a wine that will actually be good for cellaring.
Awesome. And I know we still got a couple of other things here, and we're going on longer than usual, but we're really happy to keep you guys entertained. So while I pull up the bottle that we're going to be featuring next week, Jared, why don't you talk a little bit about the coasters that we have and the giveaway?
Okay. So for Pesach, coming up soon, about less than a month away, what better for your Seder than 10 coasters with the 10 plagues on them? We have the blood, we have the frogs, we have the, you get the picture, but we have 10 different, 10 coasters that you can get these complimentary, right?
Right.
Order a case.
Experience the 10 plagues in your home. No, it's basically these are 10 wonderful coasters that come as a set, one for each plague.
Check out
one of each for the 10 makot.
Like the Choshek, like the darkness.
You get them free with each case that you purchase. So if you buy the Passover mixed cases, or if you buy a full case of or mixed case of anything else.
This is interesting because they don't show anything. Just kind of shows, I guess, like the angel of death, because like passing over or going into the home.
The Jews had to put blood, and then they would skip their homes.
Put blood,
All right, so great. Right. Coasters, guys, get your coasters. Limited edition, so when they run out, they run out. But if you place your order soon, you'll get them. We still have maybe. I know it may sound like a lot, but maybe we have about 2,000 left.
Exclusively at Kosherwine.com.
There you go.
Please let this add to your Seder.
Okay.
This year.
Now, next week, and I'm very excited to talk about this. We got to tag on Michai for this. I know it's Shabbos in Israel. Always very happy whenever we get to work this into the Parsha, but you'll have to figure out exactly how we're going to do it next week. We got the Shiloh Secret Reserve Cab. Jared will talk to us next week about how it pairs with the Parsha.
Excited.
Any Shiloh right now on site, 7% off with the code Parsha7. One of our most popular brands. definitely our favorite winemaker, Amichai. This is no rub to anyone else. We got lots of favorite winemakers, but next week.
And a perfect start to a new book in the Torah. This is the last part of Shemot, and then we finish the book of Exodus, and we get on to Leviticus.
There we go.
Okay,
next
so
week's Vayikra.
all right.
Great stuff
Very excited
all around.
about this one.
Again, thank you everyone for joining live from Kosherwine.com. Wishing you a good Shabbos, a Shabbos Chazak.
Shabbat Shalom.
And don't forget, I know we showed you a lot of wines, but take advantage. Passover season is going to come and go, and the wines will come and go with them.
One last thing, Lisa Ann is saying, what should I do if I need to order by Passover? Depending on where you're located, 1 to 6 days. New York, 1 business day. Out west, about 5 to 6 business days. But
and there's a couple of states that take a little bit longer, like Texas, Illinois, and Alabama. If you're in any of those states, definitely put in your order by the 15th. There's a chance it'll get to you after that, but don't risk it. Yeah. Definitely, if you get your order in by the 14th or 15th, guaranteed delivery by Passover. Everyone else, the sooner you order, the better. And order more. And
New Hampshire, she says. So New Hampshire, you're about
1 to 2 business days.
Yeah, you're fine.
But definitely, we recommend people order early, drink their wine, and order again.
Yeah.
Wishing you a good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.
Live from Kosherwine.com, Yaakov, Jared, and David. See you next week.
Salute.